I would like to draw the attention of the House that all administrative formalities, including accreditation for the participation of the Mauritian delegation at the Games, rest with the Mauritius Olympic Committee and the Commonwealth Games Association Mauritius, which are totally independent of the ministry. The head of mission is designated by the Mauritius Olympic Committee. My ministry provides financial and other support. Officials of my ministry and myself attend the Games at the invitation of the Mauritius Olympic Committee. Prior to the departure of any delegation for such types of events, we normally organize a rassemblement of all athletes and officials whereby they are fully briefed about the standard of behavior expected of them. In the case of the delegation attending the Commonwealth Games, the rassemblement was held on Saturday, 17th March 2018 at Domaine Anna, Flic-en-Flac. Being given that our athletes train and or participate in meetings in other countries, the delegation cannot reasonably be expected to depart from Mauritius as a single entity. Athletes and other officials, therefore, join the Games village at different dates prior to the opening of the Games. The bulk of the delegation left Mauritius for Gold Coast on 24th March 2018. All arrangements at the Sir Sisaghar Ramgoolam Airport was made by my ministry. As regards part A of the question, I would like to inform the House that prior to my departure from Mauritius on 31st March 2018, I was made aware by my advisor on information matters that Mr. V.G., President of the Mauritius Athletics Association, has informed him of an incident which occurred at the Games village involving Mr. Katie, the head of mission of the Mauritian delegation, and Miss J.R., an athlete representing Mauritius in athletics. It was alleged that on 29 March 2018, a ceremony was held in the Commonwealth Games Association, CGA, Mauritius, office in the Games village in Gold Coast, in which were present Miss J.R. and Katie, Mr. Katie. The ceremony was held to distribute Commonwealth giveaways to Mauritian athletes. According to Miss J.R., Mr. Katie had an indecent behavior towards her. On 31st March 2018, Miss J.R. made a verbal complaint to the president of the CGA Mauritius, Mr. PHTV. When I arrived at the Games village on 1st April, I was informed of the incident and inquired why actions have not been taken. The president of CGA Mauritius informed that Miss J.R. had not yet reported the case to the police and did not intend to do so. Ms. J.R. had in the meantime made a request to meet with me to explain the incident to me in details. However, she also informed me that she did not want to go ahead with the incident and wanted to bring an end to it. I assured her of my full support and reconforted her. We also agreed that if there is a need to take the matter further when we would be back in Mauritius, then we would do so. However, on 2nd April 2018, this matter was given wide publicity in the local press and on social media. A meeting of the CGA Mauritius was convened on 3rd April 2018, which I attended, accompanied by my Deputy Permanent Secretary, Mr. JPR. In the course of the meeting, it was agreed to call in Ms. JR for her to confirm the alleged indecent behavior. Ms. JR confirmed that Mr. Katie had an indecent behavior towards her on 2 occasions during the ceremony on 29th March 2018. She added that she was still contemplating whether she would go to the police or not. She informed us that she was contemplating independent legal advice. We were told then that she had retained the services of Mr. R.M. Since she had already retained the services of a legal advisor on her own, there was no need to provide with additional legal assistance. In the meantime, I instructed my permanent secretary to contact my colleague, the Minister of Gender Equality, Child Development and Family Welfare, to provide psychological support to Ms. J.R. in any manner, be it online or through the services of a local psychologist. Madam Speaker, I consider that in such situations, the provision of psychological support to the victim is of prime importance and overrides any other form of assistance. Ms. J.R. was thereafter contacted by a psychologist of the Ministry of Gender, and she responded informing that she was very busy with her training and with the ongoing inquiry, and that she would get back to the psychologist once she is free. I am informed that Ms. J.R. has taken contact with the psychologist, and an appointment is scheduled for today at 15:30. I wish also to point out that the said psychologist is one whose services have been retained by my ministry to offer psychological support to athletes. Upon my arrival in Mauritius, I had a meeting with the parents of Ms. J.R., and we agreed that should the need arise for any one family member to proceed to Gold Coast to assist and support her, the ministry would bear all associated costs. In the light of the various developments and pending the completion of the inquiry, I have instructed that Mr. Ketti be replaced on all committees of the ministry where he was a member. The MOC will be officially requested to send a replacement. Insofar as the setting of an independent inquiry is concerned, Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that in the evening of 3rd April 2018, Ms. J.R. went to the police to formally report the case of sexual assault against Mr. Ketti. All through the process, Ms. J.R. was assisted by our honorary consul in Gold Coast, Mr. E.Q. The Australian police had already recorded the statements of all those who were present at the ceremony of 29th March 2018. The president of the CGA, Mr. PHTV, who was not present at the ceremony of 29th March 2018, was also invited by the police to give a statement. On 6 April 2018, Mr. Ketti was called in by the police and charged with a count of indecent assault. He was released on bail on the following conditions: no contact, direct or indirect, to the complainant or other police witnesses, and prohibited from entering or remaining in major event area associated with Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. Mr. Ketti is expected to appear in the Southport Magistrates Court on 17th April 2018. Madam Speaker, in the light of my explanations above, the House can appreciate the seriousness with which this matter is being treated by the Australian police. Setting up an independent inquiry into alleged attempts of cover-up is tantamount to saying that the Australian police authorities may be involved in a cover-up exercise. Insofar as Part B of the question, except for the case of Ms. J.R. and Mrs. E.L., who complained about the quality and size of the competition shoes provided to her, I had never been made aware of any complaint or dissatisfaction from athletes in respect of the organization and preparation for the Games. Whatever request made by the Mauritius Olympic Committee was attended to promptly. As regards the preparation of athletes for the Games, it is a matter for each federation to provide the best facilities to those who have been selected. The Ministry has a budget, and at the beginning of the financial year, the federations normally submit an annual work plan in accordance with their calendar of activities, including international events. I wish to point out that preparation of athletes to major sports events like the Commonwealth Games is an ongoing process. Most of the athletes participating in these games are also under preparation for various international competitions, including the Indian Ocean Island Games. In this context, these athletes have benefited from the elite budget of their respective federations, amounting to 20 million rupees up to now. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, in a statement that Jessica Rosen gave to the Queensland Police, she stated clearly, and I will quote this, this is the advice that Philip Howe gave her, the president of the Mauritius Olympic Committee. Once in Mauritius, we will do an internal investigation, and if we have to take actions, we will. This is what she stated in her statement to the Queensland Police. And you yourself have just stated that you met her on Monday, before she took legal advice, because that was on the Tuesday, that you did not at any time offer legal advice to this poor girl stuck in Australia who was facing sexual harassment from one of her bosses there. Why, therefore, Madam Speaker, is my question, did the Minister not think it proper to offer state legal advice to Ms. Jessica Rosen?
Madame la Présidente, je crois avoir été très clair dans ma réponse que quand j'ai rencontré l'athlète, elle n'était pas encore dans un état pour aller de l'avant, elle ne voulait pas aller de l'avant. Et donc je lui ai dit que je reste à ses services au cas où elle avait besoin de n'importe quelle aide. Et je l'ai dit dans ma réponse. Et le plus important à ce moment-là, c'est qu'elle puisse bénéficier d'une aide psychologique. Et c'est ce que j'ai fait en appelant mon PS pour demander à ce que le ministère de Gender puisse assister notre athlète sur le point de vue psychologique.
Madam Speaker, did the Honourable Minister at any time inform Jessica Rosen that the Mauritian police and the Mauritian courts would have no jurisdiction in any case of sexual assault which occurred in Australia, and if she did not go to the police there, she would have no legal recourse here, at least in the criminal side?
Madame la Présidente, je viens de le dire. Donc ma première rencontre, c'est d'abord de l'écouter et de voir ce qu'elle voulait faire. Et bien sûr, si à la suite, donc la question ne se pose pas parce qu'à la suite, elle avait décidé d'aller à la police et de faire un statement à la police. Donc la question ne se pose pas.
Madam Speaker, I'm just so astonished that the Minister did not think the situation serious enough to advise one of our athletes subjected to aggravated sexual assault to go to the police there, because in Mauritius she would have no recourse.
Madame la Présidente, je ne sais pas combien de fois j'aurai besoin de me répéter. Je le redis, la première rencontre, l'athlète avait décidé de ne pas aller de l'avant. Je respecte son choix et je ne peux pas l'influencer. Elle est majeure, elle avait décidé qu'elle n'allait pas de l'avant. Du moment où elle avait décidé d'aller de l'avant, nous lui avons donné tous les supports nécessaires pour qu'elle puisse faire sa déposition à la police australienne.
Madam Speaker, this is very serious. By his actions, le ministre est partie prenante of the pressure that was put by Mauritius Olympics Committee on the Jessica Rosen. And I will say, Madam Speaker, I will say this, that yesterday on the Top FM, Vivian Gangaram, president of the Athletics Association, stated publicly that Mr. Philip Howe phoned him on Sunday morning, asking him to intervene and put pressure on our athlete so that she would not go to the police. This is why, Madam Speaker, I'm saying, by his silence, he is an accomplice de ce cover-up.
Can't make allegations, yes.
Madame la Présidente, je ne peux pas répondre pour M. Philippe Houtine-Voon. J'ai fait ce qu'il fallait faire, j'ai fait le nécessaire et nous avons donné toute notre aide et notre support à Jessica. Et elle le sait. Elle sait qui sont les personnes qui ont été à côté d'elle. Et elle pourra le dire en temps et lieu.
Madam Speaker, concerning the inquiry by Queensland Police, I presume they're not like the Mauritian Police, they do a proper inquiry. But they're not inquiring on any cover-up. I'm asking now about the cover-up. The phone call by Philip Howe to the President, it can easily be verified. It was said on radio yesterday. The pressure put on this girl by Mr. Philip Howe, the delay in moving Mr. Katie from the village, the delay in suspending Mr. Katie, Tiruvan Gadam. We took 7 days to actually suspend him. The advice to Mr. Katie by the President of the Mauritius Olympic Committee to return to Mauritius. All this, Madam Speaker, clearly point to a serious case of cover-up. And this is why I'm asking for an inquiry, independent inquiry, not on the allegation of sexual assault, but on the very serious case of cover-up in this matter.
Madame la Présidente, l'honorable leader de l'opposition a cité le nom du président de la Fédération d'athlétisme. Si le président de la Fédération d'athlétisme désire aller de l'avant et faire une déposition pour dire qu'il qu'il perçoit, qu'il voit qu'il y a eu une tentative de cover-up, je pense que le président de la Fédération d'athlétisme peut aller de l'avant et faire le nécessaire.
Madam Speaker, if he wanted to take his job seriously, he would himself inquire and provide the support that he has supposedly offered to this poor girl. Madam Speaker, does the Honourable Minister know that the Mauritius Olympics Committee misreported facts in their communique when they actually mentioned that Mr. Katie reported the matter to the police as soon as he became aware, whereas in fact he reported the matter to the police there himself on Tuesday, but he became aware through that committee, the famous Sunday committee, 2 days or 3 days earlier. Is he aware that there's a serious misleading statement in the communique of the Mauritius Olympics Committee?
Je ne sais pas comment répondre pour le communiqué. Donc, si le président du comité olympique a parlé d'un communiqué et a dit des choses qui ne sont pas vraies, ce n'est pas à moi de répondre encore une fois. Moi, je le redis, nous avons fait tout le nécessaire, le ministère, nous avons fait tout le nécessaire, nous avons suivi toutes les étapes nécessaires jusqu'à ce que, justement, Jessica puisse faire sa déposition, jusqu'à ce que M. Casey ait sa caution, qu'il paye sa caution et qu'il puisse sortir et partir. Le communiqué, je laisse ça à la responsabilité de M. Houtine-Voon.
Madam Speaker, our reputation overseas is at stake. Worldwide newspapers have condemned Mauritius for not taking disciplinary action against this person, Mr. Tiruvan Gadam, soon enough and waiting 7 days. Our reputation is at stake, and the Minister lave les mains, although I am saying, Madam Speaker, I'm inviting the Minister to have this full independent inquiry so that this type of incident can be dealt with more correctly and any disciplinary action taken against Mauritius Olympics Committee can be taken. This is the point.
Le comité olympique, ça aussi je l'ai dit dans ma réponse, le comité olympique est une institution indépendante et autonome. Je n'ai absolument pas le droit de m'ingérer dans les affaires du comité olympique ou les fédérations, au risque de voir Maurice être pénalisé par le comité olympique international. Alors, cela est un fait. Si pas connaît, pas connaît.
Speaker, we'll come to the Sports Act in a moment. We'll come to the Sports Act in a moment. Don't worry. I'm saying this is my last question on this issue. Madam Speaker, there's a report in the press in l'Express, in the 5 Plus a few days ago, that sexual harassment in sports est pratique courante. This having appeared in the press, is the minister concerned at all about this? And is he going to set up some sort of mechanism so that anyone in the sports who has been subjected to sexual assault or sexual harassment can come up and formally complain?
Bien sûr, Madame la Présidente, et je fais tout mon possible pour que nos athlètes puissent s'entraîner dans les meilleures conditions, puissent aller dans des compétitions dans les meilleures conditions. Je l'ai dit à plusieurs reprises, je suis un ministre de proximité et ma porte reste toujours ouverte. Et les athlètes peuvent, quoi que vous puissiez en penser ou dire, les athlètes peuvent le dire à haute voix. Et si il y a un athlète qui a subi n'importe quel préjudice, je dis bien n'importe quel préjudice, ils viennent me voir et je ferai le nécessaire. Je ferai absolument le nécessaire. Et de toutes les façons, en ce qui s'agit du côté mécanisme, il y a le Ombudsperson for Sport et les athlètes, toutes les personnes concernées dans le monde du sport, peuvent aller faire une déposition légale par rapport à tel et tel problème. Mais moi, personnellement, je reste toujours à la disposition des athlètes pour les écouter et les aider dans n'importe quel cas de figure.
Madam Speaker, we saw that he did absolutely nothing in the case of Jessica Rosen. I'd like now to come to complaints made by athletes. It appears, I'd like the Minister to confirm that his ministry took the decision not to give any per diem to our 50 or so athletes attending the games, and that they therefore received 0 cents from the ministry via the Mauritius Olympics Committee. This would have cost about 500,000 rupees, and therefore our athletes, usually poor families from Mauritius and Rodrigues, have gone to Australia with not a cent in their pockets to tend to their personal requirements.
Madame la Présidente, en ce qui s'agit des per diem, j'ai déjà répondu à une question parlementaire où j'ai dit que les demandes de per diem, nous regardons les demandes de per diem au cas par cas. Et dépendant de la nécessité, dépendant de ce que les fédérations nous diront, nous étudions le cas par cas. Dans le cas actuel, le Commonwealth Games tombe totalement sous la responsabilité du Comité olympique mauricien. Le Comité olympique mauricien a envoyé une demande de support financier, quoique l'organisation tombe totalement sous le Comité olympique. Ils nous ont fait une demande au ministère, une demande financière pour les aider with, rapidement je le dis, banners and flags, specific equipment, 50% of the general equipment, out-of-pocket allowance, insurance cover, uniforms, etc. Dépendant de notre budget, alors nous avons répondu au Comité olympique. We have agreed in principle to provide the following for the Commonwealth Games. 50% of general equipment, specific equipment, insurance cover, uniform pour le défilé. Et dans ce cas précis, cela revenait au Comité olympique de trouver une certaine somme pour le out-of-pocket. Et je dois dire que l'année dernière, pour la participation de nos athlètes aux Jeux de la francophonie en Côte d'Ivoire, nous avons donné une somme aux athlètes. Et éventuellement, pour les jeunes qui vont aller participer à la CJSOI en avril, donc s'il y a une demande des fédérations pour un per diem, on va prendre cela en considération. Mais dans ce cas précis, toute la responsabilité tombe sous le Mauritius Olympic Committee, qui eux aussi doivent faire leur part.
Speaker, I'd like to ask one question. Whether, firstly, the Mauritian Olympics Committee asked for what they call out-of-pocket expenses, what we are calling per diem, and it was turned down. And I'd also like to formally ask the Minister whether his own per diem, he waived it, or he pocketed his own per diem for going there and watching the games.
That's not the question. That's not the question. Yes. Yes. Honorable Leader of Opposition, you've got other questions?
Are you asking, madam?
Yeah, but he said he's not going
So
to
I
reply.
take it that he has pocketed nicely his per diem,
Yeah.
and he's too ashamed. He's too ashamed to tell us. Madam Speaker,
Order, please.
Madam Speaker, it is.
Order on this side of the house. Don't provoke.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
Madam Speaker, it is taken for granted by all athletes in Mauritius that sports in Mauritius is rotten. The management of sports is corrupted by mafia. There are fictitious sports clubs and fictitious federations that are created
Honourable Leader
just...
of Opposition,
What?
please.
Yes?
Don't make unfounded allegations, because then you will have to substantiate. You will have to substantiate. Please don't, and refrain from making allegations and come to your question.
I take full responsibility for what I have said. I take full responsibility, Madam Speaker. This is the situation. Therefore, Madam Speaker, le ministre ne veut pas se laver les mains. The Sports Act clearly stipulates what is a federation, how a federation works, what is a sports club, how a sports club is created, and how a sports club is run. Therefore, I would like to ask the Honourable Minister, will he urgently review the Sports Act to have much more stringent conditions with regard to setting up these sports club phantom? For instance, they only have to have 7 members. Federations, you only need to have 6 clubs to become a federation. I'm asking quite seriously the Minister to amend urgently the Sports Act so that all these fictitious phantom federations, etc., who vote always for the mafia in the Mauritius Olympics Committee, to have this Sports Act amended quickly.
Madame la Présidente, quoique, à mon humble avis, je pense que cette question n'est pas reliée avec la question principale, mais toutefois, je donne une petite explication de comment les clubs sont formés.
2 minutes.
Les clubs doivent s'enregistrer au Register of Association. Et c'est à partir de là qu'ils demandent à être sous leur fédération, et c'est à partir de là qu'ils rentrent dans tout le système. Si l'honorable leader de l'opposition a n'importe quelle preuve, n'importe quel document, qu'il y a un club fictitieux qui existe, s'il me le fait parvenir, je prendrai les actions nécessaires.
Last
Speaker.
question. You've got your last
question?
question.
Oh, okay. Last question. Madam Speaker, my last question I'm going to ask the Minister concerning the Sports Act, because I'm running out of time, whether he will, I think it is Section 14 of the Sports Act, will amend the Section 14 of the Sports Act to include an obligation on the Mauritius Olympics Committee to fight sexual harassment and sexual assault. It's already legal obligations for violence, etc. Whether he will now take urgent action, firstly, to do what I just said before, and also to change that in respect of sexual harassment and sexual assault.
De toutes les façons, je ne crois pas que je peux répondre à ça là, comme ça, qui demande tout, bien sûr, toute une étude dessus par rapport à amender une loi. Je dois dire, Madame la Présidente, que moi, en mon âme et conscience, et avec l'aide de tout un chacun, avec l'assistance du Premier ministre, nous avons tout ce dont il fallait faire pour Jessica. Et je le répète, les athlètes, ils peuvent le témoigner cela. Ils peuvent venir le dire cela. Et ils peuvent venir le dire qui les soutient, qui sont à leur côté, qui vont les rencontrer à leurs entraînements, qui vont les voir durant les compétitions, qui est dans la salle en train de crier pour que Royla puisse avoir sa médaille d'argent. Ils le savent, Madame la Présidente, et ils le savent très très bien. Et je trouve cela navrant, Madame la Présidente, que sur un cas aussi sensible que cela, certaines personnes veulent faire de la récupération politique. Moi, le Premier ministre, toute notre équipe, nous donnons tout notre soutien à notre athlète, à notre championne, à Jessica. Merci, Madame.
Time is over.